All right, let's dive right into this. We're about to unpack a story that kicks off with a simple server tweak and somehow ends up in a full-blown internet civil war. Yeah, this is the great Homelab debate that just refuses to die.
I mean, you know the feeling, right? You think you found this really clever, elegant solution to a problem. You share it, all proud of yourself, and suddenly, everyone has a very, very strong opinion. Well, that is exactly what happened here.
And it all starts from a place I think many of us know all too well. A home server that's less of a well-oiled machine and more of a digital Frankenstein's monster, Just cobbled together with random scripts, manual installs, and let's be honest, a whole lot of hope.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Picture this. You're a Homelab enthusiast. You love self-hosting your own stuff, but your setup, well, it's become a total mess.
This is the reality. You've got dozens of these little things called LXC containers, each running a different service. Some you set up with these clever scripts you found, others you kind of built by hand ages ago. And you're just constantly fighting what we call dependency hell. Before you know it, you're editing config files at 2 in the morning wondering where it all went wrong. It works most of the time, until it doesn't.
So, you decide, that's it. Time to clean house. You're tired of the chaos, and you have this vision for a simpler, cleaner, more elegant solution. It's the dream of the one perfect virtual machine.
And wow, that promise is seductive, isn't it? Instead of juggling dozens of containers, you've got one single server to manage, one set of updates to run, just one SSH login. You install Docker, you slap a beautiful interface like Portainer right on top, and boom! Suddenly, spinning up new services is as easy as clicking a button. No more late-night coding sessions.
And that's the feeling. It's just pure power. You've consolidated, you simplified, and your server feels less like a messy hobby and more like a professional data center running in your own basement. You've totally achieved organizational nirvana.
But this is where our story takes a hard right turn. Because when you share this moment of triumph online, you don't get a bunch of pats on the back. Oh no, you get a firestorm. Turns out, putting all your eggs in one Docker VM is basically the Homelab equivalent of putting pineapple on pizza. Everybody has an opinion, and boy, are they loud. And so it begins, the great debate. The community just splits into factions, and the arguments against this quote-unquote perfect setup start flooding in fast and furious.
Okay, so argument number one, and this is the big one, the single point of failure. I mean, think about it. With everything in one VM, if that one instance crashes, your entire digital life goes dark. Your media server, your network ad blocker, even the little tool that's supposed to warn you that things are down, poof, it's all gone. Compare that to the old way. If one LXC container dies, the others just keep on chugging along, no problem.
And that leads right into the next problem, rollbacks. Let's say you mess something up. We all do it. With separate LXCs, you can just restore a snapshot of that one broken service. 2 clicks, you're done. But with a single VM, a snapshot rolls back everything. Every single service, even the ones that were working perfectly fine, they all get sent back in time. It's this all-or-nothing approach that can be incredibly frustrating.
Then there's the networking. The networking. What's so interesting here is how it visualizes this concept of port hell. Inside one VM, all your services are basically in a street fight over the same network ports, forcing you to set up these complex reverse proxies just to direct traffic. With separate LXCs, each one gets its own IP address. It's clean, it's simple, there are no conflicts. For a lot of people, this right here is the deal breaker.
But what about performance? I mean, the common wisdom is that a big, chunky VM has to be more bloated than these super lightweight containers, right? Well, people actually tested this, and the results were pretty surprising. As you can see, the performance differences in CPU, memory, disk usage, they were tiny. We're talking almost negligible. So the argument isn't really about resources after all.
So if it's not about resources, what is this really all about? Well, it boils down to a fundamental philosophical difference. The classic battle of convenience versus control.
And from the ashes of this debate, 2 tribes emerge. On one side, you've got the Docker VM gang. They absolutely love the one-stop management, that simple GUI, and yeah, they're willing to accept the risk of a single point of failure. But on the other side, you have the LXC diehards. They value isolation, precise rollbacks, and they're more than happy to manage a more complex setup if it means they get surgical control. And you know what? They're both right for their own needs. So after all the technical arguments and all the philosophical debates, where do we actually land? It turns out there's a simple truth kind of hiding underneath all of this noise.
This is the question, isn't it? The one at the heart of it all? Which tribe wins? The Docker VM gang? The LXC diehards? Who has the objectively, factually better setup?
And the answer is neither of them. The goal was never to find one perfect, universal setup that works for absolutely everyone. That's a myth. The whole debate kind of misses the point.
Because the real spirit of the Homelab is this: the constant tweaking, the learning, the breaking things and then figuring out how to fix them. It's about never being satisfied, always experimenting. One weekend you're in Docker heaven, the next you're tearing it all down to go back to LXCs. And that's not failure, that's the fun of it.
And that brings us to the final, absolutely crucial takeaway. The one thing that both sides, every single person in this debate, can agree on. No matter which path you choose, no matter how you build your system, please remember the golden rule. Backups. Always have backups, because the only thing worse than arguing about your setup is losing it all.